And here we go again. After getting Jane all the way back in 1.1, we finally have our newest physical anomaly unit, Alice Timefield. While not completely different, she adds fresh and exciting gameplay to the game. If you pulled for this unit, let me know in the comments how you feel about her. My name is Den, and let's talk about Alice. When another teammate inflicts a physical anomaly, Alice deals additional damage over time equal to 2.5% of the original physical anomaly. If disorder is triggered while the enemy is suffering a physical anomaly, for every 1 second of remaining physical anomaly duration, the disorder damage multiplier increases by 18% up to a max of 180%. When Alice's attacks hit an enemy, she builds up Blade Etiquette. Now, what is Blade Etiquette? Blade Etiquette is Alice's unique energy that she builds up in this gauge. Blade Etiquette can be consumed by holding your basic attack button, and this can be done up to 3 times in quick succession. You'll know if you consumed a bar when you hear her sound cues. When she triggers an assault through anomaly buildup, she gains 10 Blade Etiquette. Of course, to trigger each level, you need a certain amount of Blade Etiquette. Blade Etiquette has a maximum of 300 points with each bar equal to 100. The first 2 levels are just quick moves that don't really deal damage, but when you execute her level 3 attack, then the following happens. When the finishing move of a 3-stage charged attack lands, it triggers a special assault effect, Polarized Assault, dealing 100% of the original assault damage, ignoring anomaly buildup progress. This can be combined with an attribute anomaly, including physical anomaly, to trigger a disorder. When Alice triggers assault on an enemy, her physical anomaly buildup rate increases by a percentage for 30 seconds. Additionally, when any squad member triggers disorder, Alice gains 30 Blade Etiquette. If Alice's anomaly mastery exceeds 140, each additional point grants her 1.6 anomaly proficiency. Upon entering the battlefield, Alice gains 300 Blade Etiquette. This passive can be activated when the team has another anomaly unit or support in the team. For Alice's specials, she has 1 regular special and 2 EX specials. The unique thing about her specials is that, if timed correctly, you can trigger a perfect dodge. Additionally, if you use your basic attack right after perfect dodging, you will immediately combo into your basic finisher. Moving back to her EX specials, there are 2 moves: Northern Cross and Southern Cross. Northern Cross is triggered by using your EX special while holding forward, and Northern Cross is triggered by not moving or holding back when you're using your EX special. All 3 moves can trigger the perfect dodge, but her EX specials also give her 10 Blade Etiquette. For Alice, she has a couple notable moves that allow her to animation cancel or shoulder to shoulder. She has her special and EX specials, as well as her basic finisher, but the most important one is actually her level 3 held basic. Just like Yanagi's EX special, this attack will not only commit to the whole animation, but it will trigger its specialized disorder even when you swap out the character. Let's take a break from learning about the unit and talk about pull value. In my own personal opinion, even if you have Jane, Alice is very much worth the investment. She may not be as broken like Miyabi or Yixuan, but she is better than Jane in a lot of ways. If you mix Yanagi and Jane together, Alice is the byproduct. From what we just talked about, Alice has a polarized assault, a dot, multiple moves with iframes, and doesn't rely on crit to deal maximum damage. Her battle style is also more flexible and has more options than Jane overall. I'm not saying that she makes Jane useless, it's actually quite the opposite. We haven't even gotten into it, but her 3rd best team has Jane as her sub DPS. But this section is about pull value, so let's talk about Wengines and mindscapes next. Her Wengine is very strong and offers a lot to Alice in particular. It provides 60 anomaly mastery and 40% assault damage for 20 seconds. But because Alice gets an additional 1.6 AP for every anomaly mastery over 140, Alice actually gets 60 anomaly mastery, 96 AP, and a 40% increase to assault damage. As for her mindscapes, her M1 is a huge skip for me. When Alice triggers a polarized assault, she gains 25 Blade Etiquette, and triggering assault reduces the enemy's defense by 20%. On paper, it sounds nice, but once you realize that Yanagi with Alice's team passive already gives her 30 Blade Etiquette, then it's not as enticing. The only way I can justify getting her mindscapes is if you get her M2, which does a whole lot more for both Alice and her team, but overall, If you're still unsure about getting her mindscapes or her signature, you'll be more than happy if you pull for her signature. For Wengines, Alice's signature is going to be her best in slot, but if you have Sharpened Stinger, then that is also a viable option. In order from best to worst, I recommend Practice Perfection, Sharpened Stinger, Time Weaver, Fusion Compiler, Weeping Gemini, Electro Lip Gloss, and finally Rainforest Gourmet. For the build, 4-piece Chaotic Metal and 2-piece Phaeton's Melody is the way to go. For 4 to 6, I recommend AP, Physical Damage over Attack Percent, and finally Anomaly Mastery. And for your subs, focus on AP, Attack Percent, and finally Pen. For stat goals, it's pretty much the same thing as every other Anomaly unit. A minimum of 2.5k attack and as much AP as you can get. For teams, I will be using Deadly Assault from now on, as it is more accurate for runtimes. This is the buff I used in every run, and the boss for today is the Miasmic Fiend. If we look at the chart, the teams are fairly consistent with a sudden drop in the middle. This drop is when I swapped out the S rank supports for A rank supports. While the current best team for Alice is Yuzuha and Vivian, we have to remember that the Miasmic Fiend is weak against both physical and ether damage. But the most important run, in my opinion, is the final one. The slowest team is a free-to-play only build, with Alice using Rainforest Gourmet and Yanagi using Fusion Compiler. These Wengines were chosen made with the mindset that you would have at least one permanent signature by the time you get to Deadly Assault, or that you pick the free Fusion Compiler during the 1-year anniversary event. It didn't feel right recommending a team when I didn't even know if they can clear at their worst. And here are my results. With a staggering 20,547 points, the worst team that you can use still clears Deadly Assault. But what makes this team so bad? To put it bluntly, this team has little to no synergy. While Alice and Yanagi can bounce off of each other using their own polarity moves, they both lack efficient anomaly buildup, leading to moments where Yanagi can't use her EX special and in turn can't charge Alice's Blade Etiquette. This problem eventually spirals out of control to the point where both Alice and Yanagi are at a constant struggle trying to trigger anomalies for each other. And because of these problems, I can't in good conscience recommend this team, but if you really don't have any other choice, then at least I have shown proof that it can clear. And that's about it. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I hope you learned something today. If you're still unsure about how to use the character, then stick around till the end of the video. I use these combat sections as a means to showcase how you could use the character in a consistent manner. The first half is usually a more casual / free to play team, and the second half is more premium. If you enjoyed the video and want to see more, hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Waste of time. In pursuit. Don't